That summer turned out to be quite overcast. Heavy rains alternated with strong winds, and the sky remained leaden. Therefore, on the rare sunny days, everyone tried to get out of town whenever possible. John, Tricia, and their little daughter Emma decided not to miss this wonderful chance for a great picnic and rushed off into nature. To their great disappointment, they couldn't reach their favorite spot. Tricia suggested simply looking at a map for a place not far from the road and near a river. Such a place was quickly found, and within an hour they were all setting up on a lush green meadow next to a small stream. The perfect weekend, said John, putting his arm around Tricia as they watched Emma trying to catch butterflies. They leaned back on the grass and discussed the past vacation and the awful weather. About 10 minutes later, Tricia smiled and turned around to call Emma, but she was gone. Panicking, they ran along the trail of flattened grass. At the edge of the clearing, behind the trees, a small, old brick building could be seen. Going around the building to the entrance, they found Emma, sorting pebbles into different piles. Tricia immediately picked up Emma, hugged her tightly, and started muttering, "How you scared us. Don't run away again. What if there were dogs or something?" "Seems like I've got some gray hair," joked John. "Let's go back before someone raids our baskets," he continued. They turned and took a few steps when Emma screamed, "What about Victor? Mommy, we left Victor!" And she pointed somewhere inside. John, turning on the flashlight on his phone as he walked, approached the entrance. In the dim light, he saw a rather eerie-looking doll. It was almost Emma's size. Dark short hair, a torn and dirty checkered shirt, olive-colored pants, browned from dried mud, and on the plastic smiling face there were no eyes. Someone had clearly scratched them out with something sharp. The parents argued with their daughter for a long time, refusing to take that ugly doll, which had been left there by someone unknown. But Emma wouldn't stop crying, so in the end they simply picked it up and headed back to the meadow. However, they hadn't walked 20 meters when Emma began shaking violently in some sort of wild hysteria. She was screaming, "Victor! Victor!" In the end, the parents had no choice but to take the ugly doll with them. The rest of the picnic passed without incident. John and Tricia basked in the sun, while Emma served imaginary tea to her Barbie and Victor dolls. In the end, Emma managed to convince her parents to take Victor home, since they had already decided that their daughter was at that age when a child should be restricted as little as possible. Emma happily grabbed Victor and ran laughing to the car. Tricia stood there with bags in her hands, looking around as if searching for something in the grass. "What are you doing?" John asked. "Yeah, I'm looking for Emma's Barbie, otherwise we'll have to come back. It's her favorite doll." Tricia started walking in circles, moving thick grass with her foot. "Ah, here it is." She picked up the doll and frowned. "Looks like it's done for." She handed the doll to John. "It seems like someone stepped on it." John examined the doll carefully. "It looks like someone tried to smash its head with a stone. Very strange." To avoid upsetting their daughter, Tricia hid the doll in her bag. For the next 5 weeks, John and Tricia tried everything to get rid of the creepy doll. They bought Emma everything she had previously asked for, hoping to distract her, but Emma reacted coldly to the gifts. She constantly locked herself in her room and talked to that terrible doll. Tricia often froze outside the door, listening to her daughter's conversations, just like this time. Very distant voice. "Victor, and this is for your brothers. When will they come? When will they show me where my Barbies went? I don't want to wait anymore." The girl burst into loud sobs. Tricia rolled her eyes and yanked the doorknob forcefully. "Emma, what is this?" She shook a large shoebox in her hand. "Why do I keep finding this box in the closet?" And inside, she poured the contents onto the floor. A dozen mangled dolls with heads torn off and faces disfigured. Tricia looked questioningly at her daughter, who indifferently stared at the pile of battered dolls. "I don't know, Mom. These aren't my dolls." "I don't know, Mom. I don't know. The girl burst into screams. Tricia hugged her, and it was extremely difficult to calm her down. Before bed, John and Tricia lay in bed. As a staunch realist, Tricia didn't believe in all those nonsense things, as she often said. But at that moment, she decided to share with her husband that she had started waking up frequently at night with a feeling of inexplicable anxiety. She told him that sometimes she distinctly heard creaks from the hallway, some rustling sounds, and frankly, she was even afraid to get up to go to the bathroom. Did you notice anything like that? Trisha nudged John with her elbow. Are you asleep or what? She stretched her hand upward, trying to find the string of the bedside lamp in the dark, continuing to talk. Go get me some water. I'm so thirsty, but I'm afraid to get up. At that moment, she clicked the light switch. Right before her eyes were the gouged out eye sockets. The grinning mouth twisted and said, I already have some water for you, and a stream of bright red blood gushed from its mouth. Trisha screamed and bolted upright in bed. At that moment, a startled John grabbed her, quickly turning on the light. Trisha continued to scream and struggle in his arms. It was just a dream. You just had a bad dream, John said, calming his wife. I'll go and throw that damn doll out the window right now. Trisha stormed into her daughter's room, with John running after her, trying to catch up. They turned on the light and froze in shock. The children's crib was neatly made, and on it lay that horrible doll. But the daughter was nowhere to be found. Trisha and John looked at each other, trying to understand what was happening. The remnants of sleep disappeared instantly. She clearly remembered reading a bedtime story to her daughter, tucking Emma under the blanket after she fell asleep. The chilling story spread throughout the city. People complained to the police about an unbearable smell coming from one of the apartments where a family with a child, a girl, lived. Breaking down the door, the police were horrified by what they saw. The married couple lay in their bed, apparently having died in their sleep, as there were no signs of violent death. The forensic medical expert then stated that they had been lying there for at least a week. There, on the bed, they also found an emaciated girl. Her heart was still beating when the police entered the apartment, but the ambulance didn't arrive in time and the girl died. During the inspection of the apartment, nothing remarkable was found, nor was the cause of the parents' death established. The police were puzzled as to how this happened, why no one searched for them, why no one heard the girl's cries, who lived for a whole week with the bodies of her dead parents.